In music, one-hit wonder can be described as an artist or a musician known solely from one mega hit song, but no other one. For instance, Bad Day from Daniel Porter, Let Her Go by Passenger, Panda by Designer. When on football, due to many variables impacting in matches, often a footballer will extend to the whole season to evaluate their contribution. As a result, some of the players considered one season wonder due to the fact they achieved peak performance or consistent form that season but unable to replicate them on the following season, or it can be injury or transfer to a new team hamper their form altogether. But although this topic can be discussed in many videos and a handful of players were discussed, but I believe there were some of them that me and you might have been forgotten. So in this video we'll have a look at some of the one season wonder players that we have forgotten, but do know I won't include Michu. In case you didn't know, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marvin, codename CM. Welcome to the Code United channel once again. If you in any shape or form stumble to this channel and somehow some way like this kind of content, do please like, share and subscribe to this channel, as each of your precious subscription will be a massive motivation for me to upload new content. And don't forget to ring the notification bell for every new upload. With that said, let's get straight into the video. First player, Krzysztof Piatek. I believe I butchered his name. The Polish international, instead of one season wonder, much more shorter, considered a half season wonder given his peak period only lasts probably half of the season. While the Polish started his career in a native Poland league with a number of clubs that I could not pronounce, and he was a relatively unknown player until he made a mild wave, scoring 32 league goals in the 65 appearance for Cracovia. But that tally included a whole 21 goals during his second season, which saw him enter that season with a campaign of a third top scorer in Poland. While the performance has him secured a move in the summer of 2018, when Serie A club Genoa paid a €4 million for the 23-year-old Polish forward from Cracovia. But during the move, hardly anyone expected that by that winter, it would sell them for €30 million, or almost 10 times the price. Piatek joined Genoa. Despite playing in a new club and a new league, he did not slow down, go on having a sensational form, scoring in his first 7 Serie A matches and reaching 13 goals by January. More incredible form, combining his memorable goal celebration with his habit of the Wild West celebration of a gun firing where he placed both hands on his chest and the tummy with on a gun gesture, associated with the 19th century United States, where the fans call him Il Pistolero or the Gunslinger, quite a fitting name for the striker. While riding this wave of hype, AC Milan swapped in for the big money offer, and he was signed as a replacement for Gonzalo Higuain, whom joined Chelsea. But initially the fairy tale continued. He netted 5 goals in his 5 matches, including the 2 goals against the Napoli in the Coppa Italia quarterfinals, and was given a standing ovation when he made his way for Coutron. Well, however, the former Genoa striker steamed out and see his form decline, managing just 4 more by the end of season. And from the summer of 2019, it has become clear he was no longer the same goal scoring machine, followed by another 4 in Bundesliga for Hertha Berlin in the second half of the season. Piatek struggled to even reach double digit in goals after that, but eventually found himself at Salernitana before attempting to revive his career in Turkey, where he gained his goal scoring boot but did not see himself back to the top league again. Piatek was a typical definition of caught to the hype until the real colour exposed. It's one of form where I see him getting goals here and there, covering some of the cracks in between. But Piatek is a traditional number 9. That is the striker, tall, deadly finishing and an excellent positioning, especially in the air. But however, he did not fit the modern criteria needed for a striker, or his lack of physical tool and like pace, defensive work rate and linking the play has been less than desired. Hence, once the goal dried up, he was nowhere to be found. On the next player, Luka Jovic. Serbia is a nation once known for their defensive footballer and midfielders as well, but in the recent times, Serbia had introduced a number of attackers which stand their ground in the top league like Dusan Vlahovic and Mitrovic. However, in the 1890 season, a striker named Luka Jovic was tearing apart in the Bundesliga with Frankfurt. Jovic, before making a name for himself in Germany, was a prospect playing in Benfica, where he would become the youngest player ever to play in the Eternal Derby at the age of 16 years and 9 months in 2014. While with Benfica, Jovic was rather decent, scoring a number of goals but did not brought any impactful wave during his time. But 3 years later, he was loaned to 2 seasons to Frankfurt, while his new club secured an option to sign him on a permanent basis. He made 5 appearances as they won the 2017-2018 German Cup and scored the only goal of the win to Schalke 04 in the semi-finals on the 18th of April 2018, but was an unused substitute in the 3-1 final wins over Bayern Munich. In the following season, one match everything changes. Against Düsseldorf on the 19th October 2018, the 23-year-old Jovic became the youngest player to score 5 goals in a Bundesliga game, and where he did so in a 7-1 home victory. On the 14th of March 2019, he scored the only goal and the 7th for the campaign in the 1-0 win over Inter Milan to secure the club's progression to the quarter-finals of Europa League. In doing so, he helped Frankfurt to become the first German club ever to score 8 wins in a single season in the competition. On the 17th April 2019, Frankfurt exercised a clause in Jovic's contract to make him the loan move permanent until 30th June 2023. In the May of 2019, he scored both semi-final legs against Chelsea, and yet Frankfurt lost 4-3 on the penalties after drawing 1-1 in both matches. However, Jovic managed to score 10 goals in the total in the Europa League season. He ended the fruitful season with 27 goals in all competitions under 48 appearances. Naturally, Jovic generates significant hype, while his Frankfurt teammate Felipe Kostic even declared if he continued at this pace, he'll become the best striker in Europe. With his impressive campaign, an opportunity of a lifetime came in the form of move to Real Madrid. The Spanish Giants had endured a turbulent and disappointing season following Cristiano Ronaldo's departure, and in the summer of 2019, they would look to strengthen their attack. Jovic arrived for a whopping €63 million, but there was a disaster incoming. Jovic found himself difficult to adaptation, coincided with Karim Benzema next couple seasons, stood up in a world-class striker role as a leadership as well, which left Jovic with limited opportunity to prove himself. When chance did, he failed to capitalize, scoring just 2 goals across all competitions in his first. While adding to his woe, the COVID-19 season further complicated his already tough integration in the squad. Midway through to the 2021 season, he temporarily came back to Frankfurt, but since then his injury has been series of attempts to reclaim his place at the elite level, but often hindered by injuries. In the 23-24 season with Fiorentina was a partial exception, but when then 13 goals in 50 matches was a far cry from impressive. After spells in Italy, he's now settled in AEK Athens. Everything went wrong from the start. I left Frankfurt too early. I came to Real Madrid and all attention was on me. I was a 21-year-old and under the pressure playing in the biggest club in the world. Jovic later admit shows that sometimes instead of jumping too quick onto the high pressure situation, will easily make or break of a player. One of the last players that fit the one-season wonder was Andy Carroll. While many of us often mention one-season wonder players like Michu, Graffiti and Santa Cruz, Carroll on the other hand has become more of a meme striker than a one-season wonder. But before he became the striker that many of us laugh at, he was once known as to be the Alan Shearer regen. Given both had been a similar rugged playstyle, body type and made their name on the map with Newcastle. Carroll's breakthrough came when Newcastle was struggling and had just been relegated from Premier League. In the Championship, the 20-year-old striker made a name for himself with 29 goal contributions in a single season, being hailed as the next coming English striker, showing his dominant striking ability as a centre forward, combining with his heading skills. When the Englishman was so good in his tenure with Newcastle, he was called up to the English squad and participated in the Euro 2012. And when the Magpies came back to the top flight, he remained their main striker. And at first, it seems like Carroll did not feel the step up in the competition, but by November, he had already scored 11 goals. But then came an injury. But while recovering, he was unexpected sold in the winter of 2011 when Liverpool signed him for a €40 million along with Luis Suarez. While looking back to this transfer, many Liverpool fans actually view Carroll as a more premium signing instead of the Uruguayan. But there was a moment when the next Shearer began his transformation into the meme striker. To put it mildly, things did not go well for Carroll at Liverpool, and today he frequently appeared in the list of the biggest transfer flop in the football history. A string of epic misses and lack of technical ability being clowned constantly. With just 11 goals and 58 matches, a loan move and a permanent transfer to West Ham 2 years later. I was like in an isolation. I was almost always in the hotel and I hated it. I was alone. I didn't know anyone. I just sat in my room all the time and it was driving me crazy. I never really get a proper chance to prove myself. Carroll later admit in his Liverpool tenure. But after Liverpool, he had a few underwhelming spells both in the Premier League and the Championship, but never came close to recapture his early form. But on the other hand, Suarez became the Liverpool legend, single-handedly dragged the woeful Liverpool to the promised land and subsequently become Europe's top player. While surprisingly Carroll still hasn't been retired, he is currently playing in the France's 4th tier of the crisis hits Bordeaux. That's the end of the video. What do you guys think apart from the mainstream one season wonder footballers? Do you still remember these players? Or do you have other in mind? Or comment down below so we can have a discussion. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I'll see you all in the next one.